Hello guys, it's Briggsyboy here, welcome back to my channel, and today I have another of my football matchday vlogs for you guys to sit back and enjoy. So the game today is Rovers versus Preston North End, 12 o'clock kickoff at Ewood Park, and it's certainly not going to be easy for Rovers. I mean, we've slipped to 5 defeats in 6 matches. The 3-2 defeat away at Rotherham last week was a very poor one, so I'm not going into this game with a huge amount of confidence, as you could imagine. Preston are absolutely flying at the moment, and they're now into the top half of that league table, so it's certainly not going to be easy, but let's go into the facts ahead of today's afternoon clash. So then, league position-wise, Rovers currently sit 17th, still on 44 points. Preston, on the other hand, have moved up to 12th position, and they are now on 48 points. So not bad at all with some of these brilliant results they've got in the new year. So as I mentioned, Rovers, of course, lost their last match away at the New York Stadium to Rotherham 3-2, making it 5 defeats in 6 matches. Preston, on the other hand, got a 1-1 draw to high flyers Bristol City. Now, Preston have dramatically improved their form in the league, and they've actually stayed unbeaten in the league since their New Year's Day defeat to Rotherham United, so that is not bad at all, and like I say, that is why I have a feeling it's certainly going to be a tough one this afternoon. So Preston's top scorers at this moment in time, you have got Alan Brown with 11 goals and 4 assists, Callum Robinson with 10 goals and 3 assists, and then Tom Barcusen with 7 goals and 1 assist. The previous encounter with Preston North End was, of course, that hefty 4-1 defeat, a terrible result for us, a terrible month really of results, and I'm just hoping that, well, surely it can't be any worse than that. We've got to at least pick up a point this afternoon and start building on points again. So Rovers team news, there's not too much to report really. Darren Lenihan, of course, still remains out with his injury. He's expected to still be another 2 to 3 weeks before we see him back in the first team. He is a big miss. I think we need him back in centre-back with Jack Rodwell. I'd personally drop Mulgrew. I think he's been too shaky in recent matches. But Derek Williams comes back after serving his 2-match suspension ban with that straight red at Middlesbrough. So I'm not sure if he'll go straight into the team. Amari Bell's done alright for me, so I'll probably keep him out, unless you're going to put him in for either Rodwell or Mulgrew, which could be the case this afternoon. So my score prediction for today's game then, I'm going to be optimistic and say a 2-2 draw. I'd take a point against Preston, let's be honest, it's not going to be an easy bout by any means, but hopefully, like I say, get a point, build on it. That is the main thing that we need to do at this moment in time. But before the video starts, you guys know what to do. Make sure to leave a like down below, put a comment down there, and maybe subscribe to the channel as well if you, of course, are not already. I'm trying to hit 3,000 subs before the end of the season, so please, every single subscriber towards that number helps an awful lot. So then, let's go into the match today then. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get at least a point. I'd be very disappointed with a defeat. We've got to turn a corner, we've got to start picking up points again, and that starts with today's Lancashire clash against Preston North End. Hopefully it's going to be a good performance and a turnaround from that disappointing defeat at the New York Stadium last week. But anyway guys, I'll see you in a bit. Right, so then the team news has come out for both teams ahead of today's early 12 o'clock kickoff. For Blackburn Rovers there's 2 changes. Derek Williams comes back after his 2-match suspension, so he's coming to left back for Amari Bells. He's now on the subs bench, and Jack Rodwell is out there as well, so he's not in the team. So it's an interesting one. I don't think Small should be starting in the game. I think he should be on the bench. I think Joe Rothwell, he needs to be in there, as does Lewis Travis possibly, so not really that pleased with the team lineup. As for Preston, they've got 2 injuries at this moment in time, so Tom Barcusen and Brad Potts both missed due to injury. So this is how they line up against us. Right, dearie me guys, it seems to be a bit of a reoccurring theme this. Rovers losing again, this time a 1-0 defeat to Preston North End on Lancashire Derby Day. I mean, I don't usually do this where I'll slate the team to a certain degree, but today I think it's an exception. Because we take a look at the stats here, possession-wise, shot-wise, you would think looking at the game, oh, Rovers are unlucky, it's a 1-0 defeat. No, it's really not like that, because let's be honest, Preston, a good side, they've got some brilliant results this year, there's no debate in that. they weren't anything special this afternoon. I think we could have got a point if we pushed ourselves, maybe even have won the match. But we were just shocking. I mean, I spoke, didn't I, when I saw the team lineup about Richie Smallwood still being in there. He wasn't actually the worst player on the pitch by any means. Derek Williams, conceding that first goal, it was all his fault, let's be honest. I mean, he didn't get a tackle in. He just looked shit the whole game. I don't know what has been going on with him, but when we got him 2 seasons ago, he won the Player of the Year for the club that year. He won it last year as well. But this season, he's just not looked right since the get-go. And it does bother me. I think loaning out Paul Downing was a big mistake, because it's times like this where you need him. Maybe even Scott Ward. I know he's at Bury now in League 2 on loan, but he's doing really well there. We've got to mix it up a bit, because it's clearly not working. I mean, yes, we are lucky, actually, to be fair, that we've got the amount of points that we have, and that it's only going to take 1 or 2 more wins, and then we'll be safe this season. But if that wasn't the case and we were one of the teams in the relegation dogfight, I'd honestly peg us for going down. We've just looked shocking. Not only the last couple of games, more or less since February started, when we went through that slippery slope of, you know, we got the battering off Brentford 5-2, we got beat by Reading and all those other teams since then. It's just really not been good at all for us. And we had a good start to the season, but it's just gone down, like I say, on a spiral slope. So really not good at all, to be honest. And as you can imagine, I'm really frustrated. It's got to that point now where I've kind of had enough of what I've seen. We've got Wigan on Tuesday, who are a team that are obviously fighting for their lives to not get relegated. And then you look at the bigger picture, you've got Sheffield Wednesday, Aston Villa, Stoke, Derby. You know, you're playing some teams that, although they're higher than us in that league table, you should be picking up at least points, if not wins. And we've simply just not performed recently. I think Danny Graham, I felt sorry for him today, because you could tell, yet again, he was an isolated man up top by himself. I think Bradley Dack hasn't looked right for ages for me. And it's nothing to do with injury or little niggles like that, or transfer rumours of Bradley Dack's going there, he's going to another club in the Premier League. It's the fact that at the end of the day, you can just tell he cannot be arsed. He's just not running, he's not putting the effort in. And Bradley Dack, of course, we know from last season, even the start of this year, when he's on the ball and he's going for it, attacking, defence is crap the pants. He's a dangerous man. Plenty of teams wanted to sign him at the start of the season. Would they in summer? I'm not quite sure. We know he's technically one of our best players, but he's not been performing. Elliot Bennett as well, very poor. I mean, I could go on naming the team about who did well and who didn't, but at the end of the day, the only player for me that really stood out, that was quite solid, was Ryan Nyambe in defence. I think it's a good job he's back. Darragh Lenihan, obviously a few more weeks off. He needs to come into that team straight away for me. Charlie Mulgrew again, he had a bit of a shocker, didn't he? I mean, Derek Williams was worse than him. There's no debating that. I think every single Blackburn Rovers fans will be fucking fuming by how he played today. Excuse my language, but that is just how bad he was. Can I just say, I've never understood why Mowbray does not play Joe Rothwell starting, because he always looks a threat, he always looks dangerous. He's one of our only midfielders that will actually run at defenders, take them on, have a shot, and he looks dangerous, he looks a really good player. I feel sorry for him that he's spending half his time sat on the bench when you got absolute melons like Richie Smallwood in midfield who can bloody walk themselves into the team even if they've had a shocker the week before. So I know for a fact, yes, Mowbray's to blame for some of the things, but you can't pin this on the manager. I hate it when people do that. Tony Mowbray is a cracking manager. It's down to the lazy arseholes on that pitch that were performing today, like Derek Williams. Just please drop him. Drop Richie Smallwood. Change the team. You should be seeing there from that match who performed and who didn't. If Bradley Dack isn't playing well enough, don't play him. It doesn't matter if he's technically one of the better players. You can't get complacent about, oh, he's a star striker, he has to start even if he's had a shocker for the last bloody 10 games. Mix it up, get some new players in there. Joe Rothwell, got to be in there. Lewis Travis, get him back in. You know, we should be looking at younger players to bring in and see how they do. Defensively, I'll be honest, we've been shite this year. There's no debating that. That's partly because of the lack of cover that we have. I mean, you know, like I said, loaning Paul Downing and Scott Ward out was a big mistake in my opinion, because they could have been starting, they could have been getting first team experience, because we know that they're good players, we know that they can cut it at this level. Anyway, that is enough from me. I feel like I've ranted for far too long here, and this video is going to be about 39 minutes if not, so I'm going to end it there. That's enough from me, guys. I'll see you later.